Hi there, you lovely lot, and welcome back to One Patriots Place, brought to you by the E2G Sports Network with Thomas, Murph Murphy, and myself, Clazzy Clare Cooper. And if you are listening on podcast, thank you for downloading. Please do not forget to rate, review, and subscribe. So, folks, we are back. It is draft week, as if you didn't know. So we're going to kind of delve into a bit of mock because, as you'll know in a moment, my friend there, Murph, has put out his mock draft, his keys to the mock draft on the E2G Sports website. So please make sure you go over and check that out. But not right now, because we want you to sit tight and watch us as we have some fun with whatever isn't going to happen on Thursday. Because as you all know, whatever we talk about, whatever we mock, whatever we want, Bill Belichick is going to go in the different direction. So sit there, grab your cups of tea, coffee, and other beverages can be provided. And let's listen to Murph and his mock draft. How's it going, Murph, man?
Oh, it's great until that. Oh, pardon me. It's okay. Things are okay here. How about you, Claire? How's everything across the pond?
Oh, fantastic.
Is it? Is it? Is the sun shining? The
I think it is.
sun hasn't shined here for a few days.
Yeah, it's shining at the moment, but I kind of draw the curtain so that the lighting's okay. So yeah,
The
because you
weather
guys don't
here,
want me too light.
yeah, the weather here has been very, very British. And so, folks, Claire has just been giving me the business off air as to how she is going to attack me during this entire episode. This is why Claire didn't want a guest. Okay, she wanted a full hour of attack mode.
This is why we weren't with you last week, folks. There was no
Right.
technical problems. It was because we weren't speaking anymore. No, I'm joking. There was technical problems. There was major technical problems, actually.
Major
We're just so
technical
happy to be back. We're just
We
very
are.
happy to be back
We
and to have
really
fun
are.
with each other and to have fun with you guys as well. But yeah, it is. Everybody's been doing mock drafts. I love how there's like mock draft 1.0, 2.0, because there's just so much this season as well. But as you guys may have seen, I went over and did my mock draft last week. I pitted myself against the amazing Tom Shawmellers as we did something for Pat's Propaganda. And we did the very first and possibly the very last, we're unsure at the moment, on patspropaganda.com, the mock draft off. Now, the voting has now finished, I'm afraid, but you can still obviously go over there and check out the draft. But we're going to talk a little bit about it as well. So a little bit of a spoiler, but please, if you haven't read it, still go over there and read it, because that is kind of what we're going to work with regards to my mock draft. As you know, Murph has done his. So it's going to be some good fun. Now, I've noticed, Murph, that if you don't mind me saying, you went O-line heavy in your first couple of picks.
Tad
now,
bit.
whilst I really do respect that, because you know that although you and I, we don't agree on that much.
Anything.
We agree on a little bit.
Yeah, we both like Steve.
We do. We both really adore Steve, and neither of us have got much affection when it comes to
I didn't like
Zach Wilson.
Steve's first round pick yesterday.
Oh, didn't he go edge guy?
Steve went edge. Steve went with Murphy. He picked a Murphy in the first round, the Clemson kid. And I'm like, no.
The rules of life is you don't pick a Murphy in the first round.
No, you don't. We're the guy you pick up in the fourth round. No, the third. He's a first round talent. Don't get me wrong. And the kid's a first round talent. But I was just giving Steve a bit of a hard time, and that's okay.
Did you see that Derek gave me a hard time for liking O-line guys? I got in trouble for liking the bigger guys, which I thought was a little bit rude of him.
Yeah,
really.
It was. Derek has gotten that way since he's slimmed down so much over the years. He used to be fat and happy, and now he's thin and married, but he's still happy. He's still a happy guy.
I was so glad you threw that in. I was thinking, oh no, I can't have to pick up these pieces as well. I have to do so much cleanup for you.
Oh, you do.
Don't leave this to me as well.
Every day, Claire's just like walking behind me, picking my socks up off the floor. What's this T-shirt doing here? You can't hit the basket. And but no, yeah, Derek gave you a little bit of grief there, for liking the biggins. But
Yeah.
Bill Belichick likes the biggins too, and that's
Hey,
why I
it's good
went
enough for him.
biggins.
It's good enough for
Yeah,
me. Yeah. Yeah.
that's why I went biggins in my non-mock draft. This is not a mock draft. This is my wish list. I don't know over
Oh,
in
I
yeah
apologize.
over in
Oh,
I
my
muse the
bad.
draft. I don't mock it. I do. Mocking is a bad thing. And
You'd think he was a literature major, wouldn't you? Really,
yeah.
a literature major. Oh, it helps if I can talk.
Yes, it
I
would.
should not have coffee before these shows, and when I
Yeah.
double stack shows and coffee, it's very bad because then I start to struggle with the words like developmental.
Hmm.
It's a
I
good one that I love. I
Yes.
love that word.
I
However, I
was I
can't
was an
always pronounce
English
it.
I was an English major. You would think that I would speak it in a more you know manner, or at least writing it. And no, I had a literary minor, and that's what you do. You end up here at E2G Sports, writing, doing musing the drafts. But no, I went O-line heavy in the first two
Mm.
rounds. A lot of the issues. People keep talking about weapons, weapons, weapons. I am perfectly happy with the quote unquote weapons that the Patriots had last year. What I
Mhm.
wasn't happy with was
And they've
how,
added Gesicki. I'm very sorry
yeah,
to have cut you
and
off.
they've
And
added
they added
Gesicki.
Gesicki.
Yep,
That's made
and
me very
Juju
excited.
Smith-Schuster, I believe,
Oh,
is
I'm
an
sorry.
upgrade.
Yeah,
Juju
I forget about
Smith-Schuster,
him.
I also believe, is an upgrade to the weapons, the armory. Let's just call it the armory.
Oh, I like that better. I
Do
do
you?
like that better. I like that
Yeah.
much better. I like the armory,
Yep.
and I like the fact that Mike Gesicki is now residing in our
Mhm.
armory. Quite
And
frankly,
it is, man. He is a big missile. He's a big
he.
missile.
Can
All right.
you not today?
Why? But I love it. And I get you for an hour all to myself.
I'm
So
gonna
aren't you folks
go
happy? Um, hey Joel, how you doing, bud? Chris is in the room as usual. You guys having fun? We're having fun.
red.
Um,
We're having fun.
So yeah,
Oh.
happy Wednesday, happy back to nine. But yeah, I went O-line heavy in the first two rounds. Because as I was saying, I don't believe that weapons were the arsenal was full
Mhm.
last year. It was how they were used. And the
Yeah.
biggest problems that I felt, that we all felt during the season last year, were how those weapons were used, and stupidity. Okay.
Mm, mm.
The third thing on that list was, and this was part of the stupidity, was the lack of depth on the offensive line.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
Which they've addressed. Sorry, they've
yep.
addressed kind of the depth, haven't they? And
Yeah.
that's sort of what made me. That's what's made me kind of not sure what I really want to do because there's so many guys that we could pick at 14
Right.
that are so good, cornerbacks and wide receivers and tight ends. There's so many,
Yep.
and they've put this depth in place in regards to the offensive line. But is it? You look at it and is it quite enough? Have they quite got what you want? And then
Right.
you look at who those handful of offensive tackles that are out there that are projected to go like in the first 30, whatever, and it's like. Oh, I find it really difficult. I was so set on tackle. I've been set on tackle for ages.
Yep.
And when you sort of hear the different things and then you see the kind of like the Witherspoon, the cornerback and stuff like this, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, it could change a defense. And I'm finding this draft, I think I'm finding
Hmm.
I'm in such turmoil because I want everybody at 14. I
I
really
know.
do. It's really
You
difficult.
sit there and
There's
you
too
look.
much
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. There's too much. Why can't we just have 11 first-round picks and everything would be fixed?
Yeah, screw everybody else.
You know. But
But
as it
talking
stands,
that,
yeah, as it stands, the cupboard is a little bare at
mm,
at on the offensive line, even with the
mhm,
additions. Okay, all these
yeah,
additions are coming in here on 1-year contracts,
mm,
and they're all guys that I would think can start and do a fine job, but they aren't answers for the next 4 to 5 years. And I believe in the first two rounds that I have found answers for the next 4 to 5 years. In the first
yeah,
round, I picked Darnell Wright. Now I have come around to the thinking that Darnell Wright is the right fit here in New England, and just about any. There are people out there that are talking that Darnell Wright is the best offensive lineman in this draft, and other people are going much higher than him. What did you think of my pick of Darnell Wright, the kid out of Tennessee? I say kid, he's 6'5" and 335 pounds.
I know, I love it. These children. Um,
I know.
to be honest, when I saw it, I was a bit like, you haven't picked the guy that I would have picked, sort of thing.
Hmm.
I'm good with them going tackle as long as they go with one of the top ones.
Right.
Now, I haven't got the size issues with Skoronski that I know some people do.
Right.
I still think that he's quite dynamic, so I think there's ways around it. Now I know that there might not be, and there could
Yep.
be, and we could fall flat with it. But for me, offensive tackle, if someone sort of just kind of gave me the board and said, "Look, you're taking a tackle at 14."
Yep.
You literally can have your pick. None of them have gone, whatever. I would struggle between Skoronski, knowing his experience and his
Hmm.
quality, and Broderick Jones, knowing his just sheer kind of epicness.
Yep.
Because I just think he looks so good, but he's inexperienced. So is it a case of kind of he's fire
Right.
burns hot and fast, and he's out quickly,
Right.
so we don't get much from him. Is he too rough around the edges? Is he slightly too raw? Will it take him too long? Will he be too hit and miss?
Yep.
So
Now.
looking back at it, I'm struggling, but those are the two. So for me, it was one of those two on 14 for tackle, to be honest. Wright had kind of sort of passed me by in a way. I kind of hate to say, really, but yeah, for me, I don't know if it was just because a bit of tunnel vision, bit of laser
Hmm.
focused on, just because I'm so impressed with those two
Right.
guys that I sort of, yeah, a little, the other ones kind
Yeah,
of
the
fell a little bit.
blinders were
They're
on. It's a
still really good. Yeah, the
little
blinkers
tunnel
are on. They're,
vision. The
yes,
blinkers.
yeah,
Thank you.
I kind of tunnel vision, to be honest with you. So what was your pick? Yeah, I still think he's really good. It's just I am that little bit kind of
Right.
tunnel vision to it, because I want one of those too if we're going tackle.
I understand. More and more people have gotten into my head with Skronsky. I
Hmm.
love Skronsky on film. I really do. I
Mm,
love what he's done at Northwestern. And if he falls to 15 and Bill takes him, I won't be upset.
hmm.
Um, but guys like Phil Perry and others who keep
If he falls to 15, we're screwed, because that's the Jets. We're picking at 14.
at 14, right? Thank
Just so
you.
that you remember correctly, because we don't want people out there to misunderstand what you were saying.
Right.
You don't want the Jets to pick
No,
him up.
I don't want the Jets to pick him. But at now completely lost my train
What
of
Phil
thought.
Perry and so
Yeah,
on and
what
so
Phil
forth
and
were saying,
Perry
because
and a
they've got
few
in your
other
head.
people were talking about, just that half an inch of wingspan.
Mm,
My our good friend Trini Trini Casey. Now, I'm sorry. Yeah, exactly. Was talking about him running around with T-Rex arms out there. Now, that doesn't bother me very much, but it begs the question: will it bother anybody in the room? And
mm.
and I think it might. Now, when it comes to Jones, I do. I believe that his lack of experience now is going to play a role. I don't think Johnson and the Ohio State Jones are going to be there at
No.
14. I really don't, and I can't see Bill trading up. People keep talking about trading up. If they trade up, they better trade up for somebody that's a true game changer. And I don't think any of the tackles in this draft are true game changers. I don't remember a tackle that was a true game changer, but they're definitely worth a pick in the top
Yeah.
10 or top 5. I just don't think that the drop off from the guys that we're talking about, to right is who Brian Baldiga, we all know Brian, we all know Baldy, he has agreed with me that this is the best tackle in this draft. This is a guy that you can plug and play at right tackle right now. And people keep talking about left tackle. We have a left tackle. Okay, you let this kid, ease into the job on the right side where he's at his best, and we'll see if he can play on the left side. I believe he can play either. I think his footwork is good enough and he's smart enough that he's able to play either side. So that's why I went with Wright, the mammoth human being that he is, in the first round at 14. I did no trading. I did no I've all the work that I've done with Mike over on
Locked on Patriots.
Locked on Patriots. Thank you, dear. Is has been so geared towards trades and everything like that. I don't do that, folks. I don't, especially when I do my muse, when I do my wish list. We talked about that earlier. I'm not musing anything. This is, it's Christmas and we've all got the Sears catalog open and we're circling what we want. And what I want
Oh,
is
my catalogue is so full of post-it notes and dots and circles and highlighted bits. It's just full of, actually, this is a really good example. This is just my notebook. It really is just full of tabs and notes. And yeah, that's exactly what my Sears catalogue would be like of the draft, because it's just too, it just, oh yeah. It's too deep. I'm just gonna, every time that a pick gets selected on Thursday evening, because it's definitely Thursday evening, early morning for us.
Right.
Every time a kid goes, I'm gonna be like, oh, not to the so-and-so, because there's so many guys that just look so good that you just want. And so when they go obviously to somebody else, especially teams that you really, really hate, it's gonna be so disappointing that the players that go to the Bills and the Finns, I'm just going to be like, I'm so angry if they're ones that I really, really like, because I'm just going to,
That's it.
Or the Chiefs, simply because last season the Chiefs took all my draft selection, all the ones I wanted in the draft. Casey literally took pretty much everybody. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me.
Claire would not be jumping ship because she hates Kansas City. But this kid has the size, the toughness. He finishes out blocks. I think he's a fantastic guy in pass pro, and he run blocks really well. Not as well as the next guy that we're going to talk about, but I think that he would fit in here in New England really, really well. Now,
I was going to say, let's move on, because he's going to be somebody that's going to be talked about a lot. So talk to me about Cody, because he's going to be someone who's maybe not talked about quite as much. So let's kind of fling that out there, because he's who you took, Cody Mulch, with your 46th pick, or with the 46th pick
now,
of North Dakota State.
Right. Cody is listed as an offensive tackle, and that's a tad bit misleading. I think he can play anywhere along the line on the from right tackle to center. He had, while he was at the Senior Bowl, he saw snaps everywhere. I mean, everywhere. He saw snaps at right tackle. He saw snaps at left tackle, at both guard positions, and even at center. Now, a lot of people came to me after reading my Muse draft and said, "Where's the center, Murph? There's no center." Cody Munch could end up playing center at the next level.
Have you got his stats there? Have you got his size? Because I haven't got it in front of me. What are we talking size-wise?
Yeah, we're talking a guy who's 6'5" and 302 pounds. All right, so
he's 6'5", really, and that versatile.
6'5". He does not look it when he plays on the field. For some reason, I was very surprised to see those numbers next to his name. But this kid is just a killer when it comes to the run game. He plays with it. The man has no teeth. He plays with an edge that is unbelievable. Yeah, go see him smile. It's the best smile on the planet.
I know of him. I didn't realize.
He looks like a giant 7-year-old that has just lost his baby teeth.
I didn't realize he was 6'5". That's why I asked you, because I know of him. I've seen him in the combine and stuff, and I am very interested in him. But I didn't realize, like you said, he doesn't kind of look his height, I suppose, as daft as that, as crazy as that sounds.
Right.
But I'm liking this even more now, because now he's a really big guy at 6'5", who's very versatile. I'm sorry, that ticks many of my O-line boxes.
It does. It really does. And I love when Claire gets so happy when her O-line boxes are ticked. Um,
I do
but
it.
no, a lot's been made about the competition that Cody
Mm.
faced while he was why am I at a loss for his school? North Dakota State.
North
Thank you.
Dakota State, yeah.
And but he held up really, really well and actually showed out at the Senior Bowl competition. He was a lion among lambs. He was throwing down some of the best um, edge guys out there and
Mm.
more than holding his own during the film's out there, folks. Go look at it. Cody Mauch in the second round, ultra versatile offensive lineman that you could plug in and play. It's basically Cody is in my estimation is an experiment that our new offensive line coach can definitely find a use for in a
Mm.
myriad of ways. If
Yeah.
he's not starting caliber right now, he will be starting caliber very, very soon. I believe he is. He could start in his rookie year and give better than the Patriots saw on this offensive line last year. I really would not be surprised if he ended up being the starting right tackle and the former that we were just talking about ended up being the starting left tackle uh,
Mm.
you know, midway through the season.
See, my only issue with this kind of now is because your first pick you took right offensive tackle, and
Yep.
I would take Broderick Jones offensive
Right.
tackle, and with your second pick you got Monch, who I've got to say, I'm recalling now. I have seen bits, and he looks really good. See, I only have an issue with you taking him because you took him at the pick that I want to take a tight end.
Yeah.
Because you took him at 46, and on my okay, we won't call it a mock,
Go
but
ahead.
I
No,
am
your
referring
your
to my
muse
mock
draft.
because
You're a
my
muser.
muse draft.
Yep.
It was the draft off that I did with Tom that I'm referring to. But yeah, I took Sam Laporta at 46 because
Okay.
he's not gonna get any much. He may go higher than that, but he's not getting any further than sort of the top 50.
Right.
And he just looks, yeah, I
Yeah,
like
the
him too
Iowa
much.
kid is just no,
Yeah.
Claire can start fanning herself now. Sam Laporta is every bit worth the 46th pick in this
Mm,
in this draft. He really is. He's a fantastic moving piece that I think would fit in here really well. My complaint with the guys that the Patriots brought in is they're only on 1-year contracts, and
yeah.
Claire's right too. Both the tight ends that we have under contract now are just here for a year, unless we get an extension going, which I do believe is going to happen.
If Bill
Uh,
calls me, if Bill asks me, I'm definitely going to kind of hint towards it for both of them for sure.
right, but I do expect an extension coming for Hunter Henry since the
Mm,
Patriots have so much cap space next year that this
mm,
year would be a very good year to get that done
yeah.
and push some signing bonus money into next year and and
Hmm.
and beyond. But no, I love Sam Laporta. I really do. He's fantastic talent. Um, now,
My only issue. Oh, sorry, go on.
no. My only issue is the fact that I'm surprised you didn't go with Washington, the Georgia kid.
See, there's one thing that's really sticking that's concerning me about him is I think he could be epic. I
Hmm.
also am worried that it may not kind of pan out. See, there's the situation that
Yep.
he was with a team behind, well, not behind, but he was on a team with Brock Bowers, who we know is kind of like next year, one of the top tight ends that's coming out next year. So
Hmm.
he's definitely was on a team with a pass catching tight end. So he wasn't going to be seeing it as much. He's a great blocker,
Yep.
but there are sort of, yeah, he's quick. I mean, I've heard, now this is just speculation because it's just things that I've heard through Boston media type people that
Hmm.
he kind of was he the guy that kind of lost weight to be quick for the combine?
I'm not
Am I
sure.
mixing him up with someone? I'm pretty sure that I
I'm
heard.
not going to say that you are because I'm not
I'm now doubting
entirely
myself because I
sure.
can't remember. But
Okay.
yeah, his route tree needs to grow.
Hmm. Yeah, he's not the fastest guy in the world. He's not the he doesn't have a route tree behind him simply because he wasn't used
No,
at
and that
at
yeah,
Georgia with all
this
they
is yeah,
had going on down
yeah.
there. He's my favorite tight end in this draft. Um,
If he works out, I think
mhm. Yeah,
you've got
mammoth.
yourself something amazing. I'm worried. I've just got this
Nope,
gut feeling
I've
that it
got you. I've got you.
I don't know why.
Mhm.
I don't
But
have a reasoning. This is my fan gut feeling that you can't. I often have these crazy things, as you guys know. I don't know. There's something that's holding me back all the time. Now,
mhm.
when people talk about him, I'm complimentary. Watching
Yep.
film, yeah. At the combine, he was epic, that kind of thing. And I will agree with everybody of all the good things that they're saying about him.
Right.
And if the Patriots pick him up, I will be happy that they have picked up this possibly crazy beast of a tight end. There's just this element, this niggling worry that I'm getting the Jonnu Smith experience 2.0, and I just don't want it. I know they're
Oh,
very different, don't get me wrong. I know they're
right.
very different. I'm not saying that they're the same. I'm just saying the expectation was up here,
Mhm.
and the like the realism, the realistic what happened was pretty much like off screen kind of
Right.
thing. And I just that is at the back of my mind with a worry of he could be great.
Mhm.
High
Nope.
floor, but I think no,
No, high
really low
ceiling.
floor
Yep.
and really high ceiling. That's
Right.
what I'm worried about. The gap between the top and the bottom could be huge.
I
And
agree.
that just unnerves me. Whereas someone like Sam Laporta, I know we're not
Mhm.
going to get Maya, but those tight ends,
Right.
we've seen what we're going to get and how it can excel. No, yeah, they could always fall flat on their face and we could have another Johnny
Mhm.
Smith experience, of course. But it just seems so much less likely with those sorts of guys. They seem more of a safer bet for me. And I want a tight end who's a safer bet because of everything
Yep.
that happened since 2019 and how it all kind of gone wrong. And we had Ben Watson out of retirement and we
Right.
had Glassjawed Matt Lacoste and Izzo as good as he could do and things like
Right.
this. I don't want that again. As a tight end enthusiast, I don't want any of that. We've got Hunter, who's I think he's quite great. We've got Gasecki, who I think has got some serious potential.
Yep.
And I literally cannot wait to see this guy on the field. It's exciting me already. If you throw in someone else, like don't do the eyebrows.
What?
If you
They
chuck
they
in
they're
like a
independent. It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
a Stegosaurus's tail. They have their own brain.
They've got their own sponsorship. If we get someone like the Sam Laporta and stuff, I just feel
Mhm.
like we're setting things up for the future.
Yep.
If you throw in Washington, I'm just a little bit more. I'm not
Right.
sure.
No, this goes back to my side of the draft when I'm talking about guys that you can't miss on.
Mm.
Okay, you're taking. I don't want to call it the safe bet, but you're taking the smarter route.
Yeah,
As
yeah, the
the
smart route,
the
exactly.
smarter route. You're not gambling out there. You're sitting there and you're putting your money down on somebody that you know is going to win, place, or show. And
Mm.
with Washington, maybe you don't feel that way. Yeah, a lot of people call Washington the fourth or fifth best tight end in this class. I just love the fact that he is so versatile and he is
Yeah,
so fantastic in the blocking game.
mm.
He's a nightmare matchup
Which is what they
for
need as
yeah,
well.
right. He's a nightmare matchup for anybody at the linebacker or safety or cornerback position for that matter, simply because of his size and his radius.
Mm.
It's humongous.
Oh, exactly. And this is why I can't be sad if they took it. I wouldn't be.
Right.
It's just like I said, I can't help the little bug at the back of my mind that's just
Mhm.
kind of tampering it down ever so slightly. If
Right.
they pick him, I'll just ignore that and just be excited and can't wait to see and
Right.
that kind of thing. Because yeah, it could be absolutely epic.
Could you
There's
pull
just
up Chris's question in the chat room, that one that he has there at the bottom? I'm sorry. No,
oh
just above the bottom. Did Murph put any tight ends on his wish list? Yes, we did. Yes, I did. Uh, and it's in the very next round. Okay. I went. I was in North Dakota, so earlier in the day. So I went down to South Dakota, and I got Tucker Craft. I was in the
Yeah.
neighborhood. I was in the neighborhood. So, I
Is
grabbed
that the
Tucker
only
Kraft
reason you took
in
him?
in the 3rd round. Yes, it was. No,
Murph couldn't be bothered to travel
right.
very far, so he
No.
just went for.
Well, I mean, have you seen the price of gas lately of petrol,
I have.
or I should say,
It's yes.
to
I think
Claire?
it's more expensive over here.
Yeah, oh, I bet it is. I bet
Yeah.
it is. But Tucker Kraft at South Dakota State is
Hmm.
one of the top tight ends in this class, in my estimation. We will be lucky if he's there at this pick. Bill might have to trade up
Yeah.
a tad bit to get him. And this I don't mind because it's not as expensive as trading up in the 1st round, trading up into the,
Mm.
a pick swap here in the 3rd round, along with maybe one of the many 4th rounders that the Patriots have. I think there's 17 of them. Could get this done. And Tucker Kraft is he's a guy. He's 6'5", 245 pounds. He has the size. He's a fantastic. He has the length. He has the athleticism to play in this offense. He's not a fantastic blocker, unlike Washington, who we were just
Mm.
talking about. But I think he has good hands. I think he has better hands than a lot of people give him credit for, and that's why I grabbed him here in the 4th round.
Can I give you my combine notes
In the
on him?
3rd round, I'm sorry.
As you took him in the 3rd round at 76, as
Yep.
did Tom Shaw-Mellors on his kind of Pat's propaganda draft off. He
Hmm.
took Tucker Kraft as his tight end at 76. That's quite a popular one.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to quote
Tip of the
from
hat
my
to Tom.
combine notes if I can.
Toms are smart.
Tom's are smart.
Mm.
Tucker Kraft, solid lower body, good
Hmm.
acceleration, smooth yet explosive, short area movement, good body
Hmm.
control.
There you
He
go.
did his 3-cone in 7.08.
That's a tad bit quicker than me. That's a very good 3-cone time. That's a very and you folks out there, Chris, there's always room for an ISO.
There is. I'm
There
glad
is.
you said that because
There's
this is
always room
true.
for an ISO. But
There always should be, and there always will be on this show. But while you're talking about him, actually, I just want to throw in over 1,000 tight ends going back to 1987. I love this stat. The
hmm
most athletic tight ends ever, and a load of the ones that have appeared in this draft class appear in the top 40 list.
hmm
Washington was 14th, by the way,
Oh,
and Tucker comes in at 37th on that. I love that little list. It just I can't remember where I got the stat from, but I like it. So yeah, I'm not opposed to it. I do like how the craft thing will be on the back of a jersey is quite cool.
oh, I'm
That's
still
quite
here. I just yeah, Kraft drafting a Kraft. I'm sorry, I
yeah.
hit that by mistake. Um,
I went cornerback at my 3rd pick at my
yeah,
76.
let's talk about that. What you have there at 76? Who did you grab there?
Now, I may have grabbed him a bit early because I took him at 76 in my Pats prop draft, but Tom Shaw-Mellors took him at 107. I'm
Hmm.
not sure if he'll still be there at 107. The second, 4th round pick the Patriots have, but I got Riley Moss of, and I haven't written down where he was from. How can I have not put that? He's the cornerback that I really like.
Iowa.
Is it Iowa?
Yep, Riley Moss went to Iowa.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah, Riley Moss from Iowa. Yeah, he was my corner. I'm really torn as well on taking a cornerback because I can't decide if I want them to take a cornerback at 14, as we've already said, or
Hmm.
kind of later, or go for another kind of Bill special with an
Hmm.
undrafted free agent because he seems to do quite well when it comes to those. But I do quite like Moss, and he's one of the sort of the later guys that he's sort of projected in the 4th.
Yep.
I'm going to read some of the notes from Evans because I can't remember where I put my notes now. Evan Lazar's got down on from Patriots Filtered. Explosive mover, elite athletic testing, excellent trigger to close down space from off coverage. Yeah, superb ability to pass off and exchange threats from different alignments in zone. And then he kind of talks language that I still struggle to understand because I'm still learning. But yeah, generally, he's 6'1", 193.
Yep.
So he's not a bad size. I don't want. I know that these cornerbacks that are
Right.
small are good. I do, but I think we need somebody. I just hate to be sizist because I don't want people to brand me as that,
You're
because I
right.
know I always go for the guys who are over 6 foot. I know I always want a guy that's over 6 foot, but I think in this case it's really going to be necessary now. From just compared to what they've already got, they have already got talent in the room with
Hmm.
kind of Marcus Jones, with Jack Jones.
Yep.
They
You
need a
you
bit
are
of bulk as well.
yep, you are a size queen. That was mentioned yesterday on
I still feel like I should be
on
offended,
fourth
but
and
I
two.
kind of can't be.
Why? How can you be offended? It's true. Claire likes the big guys. So, there you go. But no, I love Riley Moss. I think he's a fantastic, he has good size.
Hmm.
He plays on the outside almost exclusively. His technique is sound. You watch film of him, and his mirror press match is fantastic. And
Mm.
he's aggressive, and
See,
he
I
drives
like
off
that.
coverage.
I like
Yeah,
bully ball football still.
right. He's not as explosive as you would like, but you look where we're picking here, people. Um, the uh,
Exactly.
the
Yeah.
a lot of people say, well, but, well, we're not in the first round anymore. We're not. Those guys are gone before pick 14, where we're picking. Okay,
This
in
is
the
the
first
thing.
round.
The top
So
ones, there's
there's
a good
there's
chance they've
nothing
gone.
wrong
Yeah.
with waiting. The floor and ceiling of the guys that you're picking at this level, it's really there's not that huge of a difference
Mm.
between the talent levels, between picking somebody here and picking somebody maybe around later
Hmm.
that that you might we're almost come down we've almost come down to preference, who you like better, who you want to look at for the next 5 years, and who fits the scheme. And
I was going to say, who fits the pants?
I think, yeah, who fits the pants? Okay, it's the brotherhood of the traveling cornerback pants. Okay, that's what we got going here. Um, if you have a 13-year-old girl, or you had one, you know what I'm talking about. They that stupid movie that my daughter could not stop watching when she was in her teens, The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. Uh,
Oh, never heard of it, but I'm
nope,
very glad that you explained it,
yep.
because
Yep,
what you
for
said out
all
of
the British
context
people
started
out
to
there,
get
because there
worse.
are thousands of them that watch the show because of
Yeah.
Claire. And but no, I like Riley Moss. I do. I think he's a fantastic
Mm.
fit here. And I I also went with a pick at cornerback in the fourth round, though. I went
Hmm.
with Kai Blue Kelly out of Stanford.
See, I saw his name and thought, oh, I don't know much about him, which is kind of good because you can kind of now school me, because I wanted to ask you, kind of like on the show, because it helps everybody else as well. It was a little bit of like, oh, tell me about this kid, because I haven't really seen much about this kid. I'm interested now.
Well, I'm glad you are. I'm glad I piqued some interest. He's 6 foot tall and 190 pounds.
Hmm.
Kelly isn't the number one guy, as we were talking about, that you would get in the first round. That number one shutdown corner that
Yeah.
you can just put on an opposing's number one and just forget about the night.
Yeah.
But he is the number two guy. He is the
Okay.
shutdown number two guy that the Patriots
Yeah.
love. He's somebody that you can put on the outside, on somebody's number two wide receiver, and allow the Patriots to bracket the number ones of the world. I don't think that he is going to spend much time in the slot. That's for damn sure. But he's at this point in time. Um, you beggar. I don't want to say beggars can't be choosers, because I think Kai Blue Kelly is not. May I please have some more? Um, but he's the press man that the Patriots need in the system. He has the length and speed and the
Mm.
eyes to take out those number two wideouts all by himself, and let Mayo bracket the opposing number one. And
Hmm.
we really need that. But like I said, we're picking here in the fourth round. We are not getting the second coming of Gilmore. It's not. It's just not going to happen. Not that the second coming of Gilmore is not in this draft anyway.
Mm. I mean, you never know with kind of untapped potential and stuff like that. But yeah.
You know,
Just when it comes to cornerback, it feels so like
right.
just so vastly. It's insane that JC Jackson was an undrafted free agent. It just to me it just sounds crazy when you look at it. You
Yeah.
kind of never know how things are all going to pan out.
No, you really don't. And Bill could throw us all a curveball and not
Mm,
take a cornerback and find that undrafted diamond in the rough again. But this
mm,
guy has the press technique. He has the eyes, the instincts. He has the length. Um, you know, the only thing that he's not very strong. We need to get him into
mhm.
the weight room.
See, this is what I want. That's the one thing I kind of want this year out of a cornerback. I want a
Yep.
big cornerback. He needs to be quite quick because obviously they need speed. But the sport's evolving anyway. The big guys are getting fast now anyway. We've
Yeah.
seen this, kind of year on year now. So that's kind of what I want. If he's kind of a later round, so he needs some work, that's fine.
Yep.
But I think we need some size and strength, and that's the one thing that you can't necessarily strength maybe, but the size thing you can't really do a fat lot about. So for me, a cornerback just they need a big one this year. As terrible as that kind of sounds, but
Right. But I
yeah,
think
I
he
was
has.
interested. I hadn't seen him.
Right, that's the only drawback. If he had
Yeah,
the size and he had the strength that you were talking about, believe me, I think we would be talking about this kid in the first round. And these are things that can
this is the thing. Yeah.
grow and develop. And this kid's still only 21 years old, so
Mm.
there's room for growth. Um,
It's like the Skoronsky issue, then, isn't it? He's a really good guy, but he hasn't quite got that size
yeah, but
technically, and things like this.
he's
He
not
may drop a little bit.
his wingspan isn't going to grow.
We could put him on a rack.
Yeah, we could stretch him out.
You could give it a go,
We could
couldn't
do
you?
that.
It
Be
feels a
that
bit
guy.
cruel.
You've got a rack in your basement, don't you? All the British people do. You
I
know,
don't have a basement, so no.
everybody who's ever watched The Princess Bride knows that somewhere there's a torture room
I
with.
haven't seen that movie, and
Are you
it's a good
kidding
job.
me?
No, I'm being deadly serious.
People, do you believe this? I'm looking at the chat room. Do you believe this woman has never seen The Princess Bride? Oh my God. It it really is two different worlds that speak the same yet a very different language, isn't it? England and the United States.
It could have been worse. You could have said the Red Room from like 50 Shades. So you could have got completely worse. You could have said that you anyway,
I
let's move
could
on.
have, but
My
I
pick.
hate that movie with a passion. I really do. I hate that movie. It's a
This is
movie that I'll never
I've got
watch
one
again.
Claire watch a movie. I watch movies, thank you. Oh, excuse me. Chris has not seen the movie either. So
Well,
there you
Christy.
go.
All right. Well, that's God,
And he's
go.
got lots of time because he watches a lot of podcasts and stuff.
Yeah, I
He
know.
watches everybody, so
know.
he's got loads of
Chris should get his own podcast.
time.
We'd go watch it. We would. Um, but that's it. That's as far as you went down in your
No,
in your.
I did 107. I
Okay.
took the very first pick in the fourth round. We went to 107. And I took this is where I knew that I wasn't going to win the Twitter poll, the draft
Mm-hmm.
off. I knew I wasn't going to
Oh,
win because I took another tight
you
end.
took another tight end.
But I was true to myself, you see, because I thought, okay, I can do this kind of draft off,
Mm-hmm.
hoping to try and win. I
Or
can pander to
yep.
the fan base, if you like, or I can just do it how I want to do it and how I would do
Yeah.
it and how is true
Go ahead.
total Claire style.
You're the
And I did
GM.
it in total Claire style. That's why I took Broderick Jones, because I was kind of wanted him and Sam Laporte and stuff, and Riley Moss. Yeah, I took Luke Shoemaker from Michigan, because I don't even know if he's going to make it there. That's the trouble I find. The one thing that I find really difficult is 2 months ago, somebody that's now in the first round would have gone in the fourth and things like this.
Yep.
There's certain bodies that really jump.
The juggling,
rounds.
yeah, the moving
It's
up and down is
the
really
stock is
infuriating.
crazy.
Yeah, it really is. But
So I don't know if he will drop this far or what now, to be honest with you. But kind of in the forsake of when I did do my mock draft on a simulator to try and give it the best realism as I could, to be as realistic as I could. And he did drop to me on the
fantastic.
I think it was the PFF simulator, but obviously other simulators are available, folks. So whichever one you like to use.
Yeah.
But I used the PFF simulator. Thanks, Chudders. And I got Shoemaker. Now, for me, he was like, he's one of those ones that I want him in the cupboard. He might not necessarily start immediately, game one.
Right.
But he can sit behind them for a bit. He's tall with a lean build.
Right.
So he needs to add a bit of weight. He's got room to add a bit of weight.
I think he's
He's
like
a good
6'5", right?
He's a good blocker. I was just trying to. I don't know why I haven't got it written in front of me. I will
Yeah.
find it. But he's an inline Y. He's got kind of good run game. He's like, where's my notes gone? I've got everything all mixed up now. He's got untapped passing game potential. He's got really burst off the line of scrimmage. So he's got these little. I think he's a little bit of a dark horse that I'm hoping not everybody notices, sort of thing, because I think that he has this. I think he has good potential, and I think he's got a bit more of what the Patriots need that they might not necessarily have in stock at the moment with the kind of inline blocking bit, because it's kind of what they need. They could really do with this blocker, and that was the problem with me taking Laporta. Is he's not much of a blocker. He needs to work on his contested catches. But it was like I couldn't help it.
I would almost rather that you had gone in a different direction with the Laporta pick if you knew that you could get Schumacher here in the fourth, because I think he is a more rounded, well-rounded tight end for this system.
He is.
He's the guy that lines up in line. He lines up in the slot, and he even lines up out wide. Okay, which could be a nightmare for other people. I like this pick that Claire made here. We just went over how versatile he is. He was a key part in the run game there at Michigan.
And he's 6'6", 250.
6'6", 250. Okay, and that's
just where I like my tight ends.
That's how Claire likes them, 6'6" and 250.
I'll go with 6'5", 6'4", 6'4", 6'5", 6'6", 250. You're hitting my sweet spot for tight end.
He can, without a doubt, he can take on defensive ends when you line him up. The only drawback, he doesn't get a lot of separation when he's out there running routes. He's not as quick or sudden as Sam Laporta. That's for damn sure.
That's why you need both.
That's fine. There you go. That's why you need both. I didn't see him, at least in the tape that I watched, get many contested catches. I don't know why. He just seemed to be wide open all the time. And if you can remember, somebody that I can keep complaining about time after time on Sundays is Travis Kelce, and why he's always so wide open. This kid is the same way. He's always so wide open. I don't know how somebody 6'6" and 250 pounds can get this wide open. It's not like he can't be seen, and but it always seems to be that way. I just did not see a lot of tape of this young man going up against contested catches.
My over 1,000 tight ends going back to 1987 most athletic tight ends ever list.
Yep.
Shoemaker, 16th.
Ooh,
that might be why.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that could be a nice little reason why. And
I think I've now kind of really talked myself into, if they take a tight end, if they only take one, because I am of the mindset they should take two simply because of the skill set. I do think they should cover both bases because of what they need for the future. Because Henry and Gesicki are much of the future. Even if one of them get extended, they're still
We're
not
talking 3 years.
Future. Yeah. So I want them to stack themselves up. So going forward, we never have to. And this is the year to get those tight ends. This is definitely the year.
It really is. But we seem to say that an awful lot out here.
Not with tight ends.
Not you and me, but people.
Okay.
People, we keep hearing about tight ends, and this is why I don't take one in the first round, because they never seem to pan out. Those first round
Yeah,
tight ends never seem to pan out. If you look out there, it's always the surprise, and then people come back and they ask, "Why didn't Bill draft Travis Kelce in the third round? He was blah 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 blah," because nobody knew Travis Kelce was going to be Travis Kelce. They were
exactly.
busy
That's
talking
the
about
thing.
other tight ends and how
Yeah.
great they were. They were the idiots like me talking up Washington and then saying, "Well, what happened?" So that's it. But Claire, you've grabbed two fantastic tight ends. I don't think that anybody should be upset with that. I have no problem with double dipping at that position, especially with you.
Just saying that
There you
just to
go.
be nice.
And we're running up against it, and
I can't
Steve,
believe it. We've
right?
got through our
I
mock
know,
draft. We've got through a few positions. We've talked about some really key guys and some kind of maybe off the bat guys that not everybody is talking
right?
about right now, which is what I was hoping this would be. I
Yeah,
was hoping this wouldn't be kind of the same as every other thing. Then
no,
again, Murph, when you put you and me together, it's not the same as anything
no,
ever
it's not, is
out
it?
there
It's
completely.
yeah. Wait until Claire and I
you,
are on the same continent and we're singing karaoke together. That's
you
gonna
won't get this anywhere else, folks.
anywhere,
I guarantee
anywhere.
it.
Now, as I got on our great friend Steve, we miss you,
Mhm.
for taking edge guy in the first round. I took an edge guy
Yeah,
at 117, and I
that's
took
okay.
Byron Young, the edge guy out of Tennessee. He's 6'2", 250 pounds, and he's not. Let's say, you know, a prototypical Bill Belichick,
Okay.
type of pass rusher.
Mm.
But he is somebody that I think could fit in here really, really well.
Mhm.
He's 6'2", 250, and that's a little shorter and a little leaner than Bill would like.
Yeah.
So, but the Patriots are grabbing it. Like I said, people, we're outside of the
Yeah.
top 100 now.
This is
Okay,
it.
and
Now you're
this is not
talking
this is not an
developmental
immediate right.
guys.
This is not
Yeah.
an immediate need, and I don't even want to call Young developmental. I think that he's somebody that can come in
No,
here and
just
be part of the
yeah.
rotation.
Mhm.
You know, he can contribute right away out of on passing downs. He's a fantastic pass rusher. In his tape, he looks like a sprinter getting out past opposing tackles, and
Mhm.
he's good enough in pass coverage to even play the Sam linebacker, in my
Mhm.
estimation. He's a
Mm.
great athlete with the ability to change direction and get back to second gear in an instant in a stop and start situation. Versatility is the key. And I think that this kid is a versatile guy that could play both the edge and the Mike. And that's that he's not a Sam, but he is a Mike, and that's fantastic.
Now
Um,
we're not going to get to all of your picks, I'm afraid,
no.
because of the way coming up to. However, this next pick, because I didn't go any further than 107,
Hmm.
as people know, Pat's what we just did to the first four. But Murph did, he did a whole draft. So please go over to the E2G Sports Network and check out all
Thank you.
Murph's great work and obviously everything else that's over there sports related. However, we're going to let Murph talk about this last pick because you can see him like wriggling around and giggling in the square because at 135, I want to announce it. The
Hmm.
Patriots take on Murph's Muse draft the running back from Kansas State, Deuce Vaughn.
Right.
So yeah, we all know
Yeah.
that one, this isn't a surprise,
No.
and two, how much you love this guy because you've loved him. I don't know since
Since the moment
probably
I saw him.
not quite as far back as I did Maya. To be honest with you, I
No.
don't think it goes that far.
Hmm.
Don't think we can credit you to that. However, it's quite close. And I know that you've championed this kid.
Yeah.
So
It
yeah.
was it was love at first sight.
Mm,
Every great third down back that you can think of that has played here for the Patriots over the years, from Mr. White going all the way back. Um,
hmm.
this kid is as good or better. And that's
Not everybody is happy with your pick, Murph. Chris is facepalm. I
yeah.
don't
Chris,
think he's
Chris,
done.
kiss my entire
Yep.
Irish ass. Okay.
Okay. And there we just lost the branding of family friendly, but we never claimed to be anyway, so it
Now,
doesn't matter.
We
Because
never did
this
anyway.
we are
You know,
actually down as explicit.
he's
So
Deuce
when
Vaughn
in
is
Rome, why not?
right. He is. Yeah, I've got some highlights of him up at the at E2G sports.com in my Muse draft in my my
Oh,
wish
did
list.
you? Oh, I
Yes,
missed that bit.
there's some
Oh,
lovely
wow.
lovely highlights of him, 5 minutes worth, and you know
It
it
concerns me though. Sorry to cut
this
you off because I will let you roll with this, but it does concern me that Zerline, the NFL analyst for NFL.com,
yep
has him compared to JJ Taylor. Do
yeah
you think that that's just simply
that's yeah
he's just looking at his size?
right
Do you think it's just that?
that's it
Because I mean, to be fair, I do really like JJ Taylor,
yep
and he seemed like he was going to be good, and then we just never really saw anything. And I don't know if
Deuce
this is
is
just fate circumstance or what really.
Deuce is faster than JJ Taylor. Deuce
Hmm.
has the ability to stop on a literal dime and then restart and get back to speed in an instant. In an
Mm,
instant. Deuce Vaughn makes opposing he uses his size. JJ Taylor wasn't a between the tackles runner when he was at when he was in college. Deuce Vaughn is.
right.
Deuce Vaughn is a guy that sees a hole and hits a hole at 105 miles an hour. And he's also somebody that can play patient, which is something that JJ Taylor doesn't. JJ Taylor tries to
Okay.
hit holes that close a tad bit too quick for him.
Hmm.
And JJ Taylor is somebody that will hide behind those huge defensive backsides, the guys who have serious sand in their pants. Um, and
Wow.
wait for that hole to open up and then hit it at, like I said, 105
Yeah.
miles an hour. This kid goes from first gear to third gear quicker than anybody that I have seen in the past decade. All right. You he compared him to or I compare this kid to Darren Sproles. Would you guys have a problem with Darren Sproles playing for the Patriots? I don't think so. I really don't. I love this kid. I want him. As I said, he's Darren Sproles kind of special. Uh, what I've seen him do in his film to opposing DBs is downright scary. He
I
is
have.
literally broken ankles in guys trying to
Mm,
keep up with him. The last time I saw somebody stop and start and move and jump the way that this kid does is, and I'm gonna throw this out there, and I could care less what you think, is Barry Sanders.
hmm.
Okay, I'm not just in this aspect. Just in this aspect, out in space, he has fantastic hands. He has fantastic feet, and he's one of the faster guys in this draft. You want speed, you want a weapon. This kid is a speed weapon. Sorry, Chris. Sorry.
He's not very
Get
happy.
your own show.
I've got to say, there's the thing with him for me is he's got kind of like such a big upside
Yep.
and possibly a big downside in regards to his size. Now, his size could also be an upside.
Yep.
There's this chance, and it's just for me, it's like he's one of the ones who's really difficult to guess where he's going to go.
Right.
Obviously, without the use of like a simulator, without
That's it.
someone who, the algorithms and things, because someone could just, like you did,
Hmm.
completely fall for this
Right.
guy, just head over heels, and think he will really
That's
fit.
it.
And then the whole of the NFL are looking at him thinking, he's a little bit small,
Yeah.
regardless of his kind of
Right.
skill set. I just noticed in his player bio that his father is the assistant director of college scouting for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yep.
I thought that was really interesting. I now need to keep an eye to see if they draft him because I think that would be that's something I just found really interesting. But yeah, Murph, we're kind of like really hitting up against it now. So going on to your next picks, I don't think we've really got time. So people,
Okay.
as we said, go over to E2G and have a look at that. But before we do leave, is there any kind of lasting pearls of wisdom that you want to throw out there before we wrap up this kind of show? Now we're back and this
Yeah.
and the other.
Just remember, folks, that this has all been done with what we want and what we think. And you know, as the old saying goes, Bill zigs while the rest of us zag.
Yeah.
And if we get one right,
Good job.
you know, like last year I got
Oh, yeah.
one right.
Who did you get? That I didn't get any right last year. I don't think I actually did. No, I didn't do a mock last
No,
year,
you didn't.
so
You didn't.
I didn't.
I got Cole Strange right. I was the only
Oh, did
person who
you?
called the
Oh,
Cole Strange pick.
but the wrong.
Yeah, it was the
I'm
wrong
guessing
round.
the wrong place. Yeah, guessing the wrong place.
You know,
Yeah, I didn't.
I thought
I didn't
Cole
do
was
a mock,
perfect for
and they didn't
here.
take anybody I
Right.
wanted last year. So
And no, they don't, and they're probably not going to take anybody that we want
no.
this year. And we
Well, I'm
know it.
hoping with the amount of tight ends they've got it, they're going to take one. And you
Hmm.
watch, they'll take one of the ones that I'm really not. I'm a bit
High
like,
on.
I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah,
What are you
they
doing
won't
there?
take any of the ones that I really
What are you doing?
like.
And they're not going to probably take anybody that Evan Lazar mocked up, and they're probably not going to take anybody that Phil Perry mocked up, and they're probably not going
No.
to take any that you know, anybody out there at CBS, NBC, or the NFL Network mocked up. We have
Yeah,
no
ESPN,
idea, right?
WBZ,
You know,
ABC,
that's it.
CBC.
You know, BBC One, BBC Two.
any of the three letters that
Yep.
FBI if you want. Let's throw that one out there. You never
What
know.
was it that I hit you with on Twitter yesterday? BBC what? BBC tight end? BBC what? DB?
It was
Something
something
like
that it
that.
was like, but you were incorrect because I was watching it on Sky, which was quite funny. But
Oh, okay.
yeah, as long as they take, to be honest with you, as long as they take Shoemaker, I'm fine.
I'm fine.
I've now come around to the fact that he's the guy that I want them to get. He looks too good. I want him. Get him.
And I love him, and I love him where Claire picked him. She didn't overdraft him. Yep. Tomorrow
I
night
just need to throw this out there. Yeah.
Yep.
Do you want to? Tomorrow night, 7:45 Eastern, E2G draft night special with Jim Hackett, Buddy, Murph, and many more. I didn't know Murph. You didn't tell me this.
I'm gonna try to call into that. I won't be there all night long with these guys, but I will pop
Watch
in
them on YouTube.
and we will. You
I
can
didn't
watch
even
us
get
on
an
YouTube.
invite. How rude. They don't want me in my pajamas, I'm assuming, but I didn't even get an invite. How rude. See,
I
folks,
do. I
you
would
want
love
less
to.
of me.
I would love
Definitely
to see
less
you
of
in
me.
your pajamas.
Well, you always tell people that that's kind of what I've got going on down below because I only ever show my top
True.
half kind of thing. But it's
It's
not. I
true,
have
folks.
normal, regular
She's wearing
people
shorts
clothes on
right now. She's wearing shorts. From you know this up. It's Vogue, and from down it's Sheen. Okay.
I'd hardly say Vogue. But
Vogue.
thank you. That's very kind of you.
You know.
And
All right,
on
Claire.
that, we're gonna end.
Yeah, don't miss that coverage tomorrow night. That's going to be a blast.
Yeah.
We're going to have some fun. I'm sorry Claire didn't get get an invite to that because yes, I would. We all know that Claire will be up watching. Claire, where are you going to be able to watch?
Oh yeah, there's coverage. I have coverage. I shall be watching from my couch, half asleep. So yeah. So whether I'll actually see the pick, I know. Yeah. Whether I'll actually
I'm
see the
going to
pick
need
at
it
something
myself
like
because
2:45.
I'm off coffee. I have given up coffee.
Wow.
Yep, I have.
We need to address this next episode.
Next episode. Claire, take us out of here. We'll be back next week, folks.
As you said, we will be back next week, folks. One Patriots Place is now back for you each and every week on the E2G Sports Network. So thank you for joining us, folks. Thank you for everybody who's been in the chat. We have had a blast. It's great to be back. Definitely the dynamic duo that you won't find anywhere else, folks. Only on the E2G Sports Network from One Patriots Place. So tune in next time and go Pats.
Go Pats.